from being bad so that I can be good. So my comprehensive list of things that I want to give up during a fasting period. Because in the Orthodox Church, during a fasting period, we are not supposed to eat meat, fish, dairy, eggs, olive oil. But in case you're not familiar, this is a staple. And because it is a staple, and my priest knows, it's a staple, and so I don't give that up. But I do give up coffee, and more coffee. Anything that can alter my mind. So because processed food is exactly how it sounds, it's going to be altering me in some kind of way, you know? I'm always curious about that. Like, how is this actually affecting me? And I won't know until I give it up. I mean, it's like a drug. Like, say you take a drug, you get high, you come down, but you don't realize, like, how much of that drug's in your system and how much it affects you until you let go of it. For a long enough time period for it to make a difference, you know? Yeah, like, I realized that with sugar, like, you know that picnic that I went to recently, the church picnic that I had no desire to be at, made all that guacamole, hardly anybody ate it. Like, somebody made banana pudding. And I just had to indulge. Because it's different if something's homemade, you know? Like, if somebody bakes cookies or brownies or they make a pie or some shit, you know? It's like, I feel like that can be rationalized. It's not like I'm chowing down a bag of Famous Amos, you know what I mean? But man, I regretted eating that banana pudding because, like, I was tired. I was tired for the rest of the day. Like, I went home, took a shit, and passed out. Okay? It's not a joke. That's literally what happened. And then, like, I got up and went to work. But, yeah. It's like, I remember, like, eating out used to be, like, a treat. You know? Sweets were a treat. But I don't think that's how most people live. At least not anymore. I went and did comedy tonight. Got lost on the way there. Multiple times. Thought my car was gonna get towed. Was walking up and down the street. At first I was driving up and down the street. Then I was walking up and down the street. Finally found it. But I'm glad that I stuck it out. These fries are actually pretty decent. But yeah. Starting tomorrow, I'm gonna avoid all mind-altering stuff. Right now, though, I'm indulging in French fries. Okay. But yeah, like, I've worked in food service for a long time. I'd see the same people multiple times a day in the drive-thru. And I know damn well that if they're not in my drive-thru, surely they're somewhere else. Because if they're gonna show up at Wendy's or McDonald's that many times, they're probably showing up at Chick-fil-A and Taco Bell and Burger King. What's the other one? White Castle, Popeyes, KFC. Yeah, I'm treating myself to In-N-Out. So that I can, like, pretend to be good. But really, the main reason I'm here is because of the shakes. Like, that is my guilty pleasure. Like, that's one of the main reasons why I love working at Steak and Shake. because I got to make shakes. Like, I really, really enjoy it. That probably sounds weird. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, and so I made a bunch of coffees. It was also a Baskin Robbins. I've worked at Ben & Jerry's. Worked at Dairy Queen. So ice cream is kind of my thing. Yeah, I have a lot of experience in food service. And so if I sound like a bitch, it's because I have every right to be, okay? I mean, it's just really sad that you know, like, we can blame these industries, we can blame the companies, we can blame the advertisements, we can blame the people that willingly subject themselves to being exploited. You know, there's so many people to blame, right? I don't want to join that massive amount of people that are just like shunning people that like they truly can't help themselves. Because food's a drug, you know? It really is. I mean, sugar. By God. But it's a drug that I don't get high from it anymore, you know? And because I know the truth about it, it's like, yeah, I'll treat myself to a milkshake. But I'm about to go home and pass out, so that's one of the reasons why I'm not gonna be up all night. It's hopefully not. Well, like, it's so crazy to me that, like, people, like, eat this food and they go back to work. Or they, like, drink a milkshake and they don't pass out. You know, like, that's so crazy. And, like, I used to eat like that all the time. Like, when I first started working at Steak and Shake, I would make myself shakes, like, all day long. When I worked at Ben & Jerry's, like, I would just sample the ice cream all day. But, you know, I was younger, so I guess, like, my body could handle it. But when I worked overnight at Steak and Shake, I would just drink Coca-Cola all night. And it was the regular-ass Coca-Cola. It wasn't, like, the sugar-free, or the, what is it, not sugar-free, but the pure cane sugar Coke. We actually sell that now at Steak and Shake. And they just brought in cane sugar Dr. Pepper, cane sugar Sprite. Well, yeah, like, I didn't drink that shit. I drank, like, the 69% high fructose corn syrup Coca-Cola, okay? All night long. And then I would take a big ass cup of it home. So we've come very far, all right? I'm almost done with this poster. Well, maybe not. I might add a background color. I'm not sure yet, but the outlining is almost done. all makes sense given the context. You see what I did there? So I started at the bottom and it was like totally green, but then it started to fade out, and so I just added pink to it. But I think like the multiple colors, like I think that looks pretty cool. You don't have to agree, I like it. Okay. You never have to agree with me. The pressure is off. Yeah, it's so weird to me, like, the internet has created this, like, culture of, like, constant, like, approval seeking. You know, I thought it was a Gen Z problem, but it's not. It's the internet. So if everybody's on the internet, I shouldn't say everybody, if people use the internet excessively, they are in danger of developing this whole, like, I need you to like me, I need you to agree with me, I need you to support me, I need you to not call me names. And so people expect me to listen to them. People expect me to care about their opinion. People expect me to take them seriously. You're on the internet leaving comments. Like, I know I'm on the internet putting out content, but like that's my thing. Like, I'm a creative person, that's what we do. You're not doing that. I know, I looked, I clicked on your profile and you haven't put up anything. If you have videos, it's from somebody else's channel, or it's like a song. Very rarely. Sometimes I'm wrong about this, and I'm so happy to be wrong. Very seldomly there will be a hater or a troll that has actual content of their own. But most of them do not do this. Most of them want to hate on stuff that they will never partake in. You know, the whole creative process. But putting it out there, you know? It's definitely a big deal for me because I hate the internet with every fiber of my being. But, you know, I've often heard people say in relation to stand-up, you know, like, oh, I could never do that. I could never get up there. Like, that takes guts to be able to do that. And if you saw some of the comics that do it, you might not be saying that. But I hear you. I hear you. I mean, the kinds of people that watch a stand-up comedian and, like, talk trash about them. I mean, I can talk trash about comedians because I'm a comedian and I see them. I talk to them. I know how terrible they are. Okay? You're not a comedian. So if you're not a comedian, I really don't give a fuck about your opinion on comedy because you don't do it. You have no idea how hard it is. You know? But, by the way, this is not directed at any specific person. This is just a general fuck you. Okay? Because, yeah, like, I don't go into Foot Locker and tell people how to sell shoes. You know, like, I don't do that. I wouldn't dare. I know that I've bitched about the roads and how, like, they should fill the potholes with cement. I know that I've bitched about that, but I'm wrong. That was just a joke. Okay? That was just, like, me being a bitch. Okay? I would never, like, yell at construction workers or, you know, road people or whatever the fuck they are and be like, do your job! You know? Like, I would never do that because I'm not that much of a cunt. But yeah, like, I think it's pretty fucked up when people try to tell an artist how to do their art. Oh, well, you need to do this and you need to stop talking about that and you need to validate me more. Validate your damn self. You don't know how to do that. You don't know how to do that. It's fucking pathetic. Seriously though. I don't know. I don't expect anyone to validate me. So whenever anybody actually likes me or gets my comedy and digs what I do, I'm just like, holy shit, really? Like when that bitch flagged me down tonight, I was like, you really liked what I did? I mean, it's easy when I'm up there to like be in the audience and laugh. But a lot of people are intimidated by me. And so, rightfully so. I understand. I'm kind of intimidating, I know. I'm the crazy bitch that's always talking to herself, rocking back and forth and laughing. And I also have a plastic dinosaur that was made in China who is very menacing looking. And he was watching. He always watches my sets. I take him with me and I put him on the table next to the camcorder so that I have support from China. And well, I don't expect Americans to support me. I'd expect the Chinese to support me way more than Americans because I'm not bitching about China, okay? But yeah, he's very intimidating, I know. Look at those teeth. Look at those teeth. And his talons are intimidating too. I know he's an amputee, but that means that he's serious. He's serious. All amputees are serious, okay? Oh dude, speaking of amputees, there was this guy tonight. I told y'all about him a couple years ago, I think. He was at this mic that I did at the Holistic Connection, which is like a weed bar. I'm pretty sure it's probably not in existence anymore because we try to make all that shit illegal again. But it's a synthetic weed bar, so it doesn't really count. But yeah, there was this open mic there. And there was this dude who's from Louisville, another comedian, and he has one arm, and he has a lot of tattoos. Like he has a tattoo on his neck, like. But yeah, he's got like, so he's got the one arm, the full arm, and then the other one, it's like it just stops like right here. So he still has his elbow, but then it's just like a nub or whatever. And he was like drinking a beer, and he was holding it in his nub. And I was like, that is so hot. And then he told me he wanted to fuck me. He said that on stage because he liked my set. He said, well, he mentioned that he didn't agree with what I said at first because I was talking shit about potheads. And then I said that people need to stop being candy asses. And he was like, should we fuck? And I thought that was hot because I really like it when men are just honest about what they want. I mean, you guys know that I'm not interested in that sort of thing. But like, when a man can just admit like his carnal nature, you know, I think that's, I mean, it's attractive. even if that's not gonna happen, you know? It's a lot better than this approach of like, oh no, I don't want that. I don't want that. Like this guy that approached me tonight. It was so weird. This guy was so fucking gay too. Ew. Ew. This is what I hate about men right now, is that they all act gay. Aside from this amputee that I'm talking about, that was holding a beer in his nub. Okay? Well, he was in the military too, so I'm assuming that's how he lost his arm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said that. He said that in a bit. He said that he was like at Home Depot and somebody came up to him and was like, pointed at his nub and was like, military. I mean, see, that's the, I remember that because that's really funny. But yeah. Honesty is sexy. And like, I understand that like men don't know how to approach women anymore, and they are all like seemingly homosexual. They're just effeminate and they don't have that John Wayne kind of grit. Like they just don't have it anymore. And I don't think it's their fault. I think that it's the culture that sucked it out of them. The internet has turned everybody into such a pussy. You know? Black men still have it. And this white dude with the nub that's really honest about what he wants sexually, he still has it. But that's because he was in the military and he lost his arm. And he lost his arm in combat, okay? So I don't know. I just think that there's this really like effeminate way of dressing, this effeminate way of carrying yourself now that men have subscribed to subconsciously because it's what's popular, you know? But it has everything to do with the phones. Like, it's the gayest thing to have a phone in your hand. I don't think you understand. Like, you look fucking gay. And, like, I see these dudes that are, like, just taking selfies and, like, they'll be doing a video in front of a Starbucks. I mean, is there anything gayer than that? I don't think so. I don't think so. But then again, they might be having a contest.